K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
All right, good afternoon or morning or night, wherever you are at. I am the Sarge. Welcome to the Fort Compound. I'm a visit with a guest. His name, he goes by Mess Around Dave because guess what? He's always messing around and everything else. How are you doing today, Mess Around Dave?
I feel so much better today. Thank you.
That's good to hear. That is very good to hear. So you're a Bears fan, avid Bears fan, and before we came on, you were telling me some news with the Bears. Can you share that news that you were just telling me about?
Yeah, so apparently, even though they don't have a GM yet, they have narrowed their coaching search down to 3 or 4. It's Jim Caldwell, formerly the Lions and Colts, and then Dan Quinn, the Cowboys D coordinator, and Byron Leftwich, the Bucs OC, and Matt Eupherbus, the Colts defensive coordinator.
Okay, if you can pick, who would you pick as your Bears' next coach, and why?
If I had to pick, I'd take. I know he's not a finalist, but I want Brian DeBall from the Bills with that offense that he has with Josh Allen. Imagine what he could do with Justin Fields.
Do you think the Bears will keep Andy Dalton?
No, I think Dalton's going to go somewhere where he can find a shot to start again. I think we're going to be looking at either free agent for backup or in the draft for backup.
Okay. So you have a show in the afternoons on Mondays. You didn't do it today. That's all right. But can you explain what your afternoon show is?
My show is called Messing Around with Mess Around, or not Mess Around. That's what it was formerly called, but I changed it to Lunchtime with Mess Around. And that's on at noon on Mondays. And the reason I didn't do it today is because there wasn't a whole lot of news going on. And then as soon as I decided to cancel it, all this news comes out about the Bears that I could have used. So
that usually happens, like when something doesn't go your way, then you just decide to be done with it. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now it happened, and so forth. I get kind of that frustrates me at the times and stuff.
Yeah, and it's not just the Bears I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Bulls and the White Sox and any other sports or whatever the viewers throw out they want me to talk about. So,
all right, you heard it right there. Lunchtime with Mess Around, talking about Chicago sports, and I mean they need all the love they can get because they can't win championships anymore. But that's all right. But so speaking of championships, yeah, this last weekend was probably one of the best weekends of football I have ever been part of. Have you ever seen anything like that in like playoff football?
No, this was probably the best weekend of football games in the history of football, in my opinion. Every game was close. It wasn't like last weekend. I mean, 3 of the 4 games were decided by a field goal. So, yeah, I loved it. And that Chiefs-Bills game was the best game ever, I think.
I got to admit, that was a pretty good game. So my thing is, we co-host, if for those viewers who don't know, we actually co-host another show called the Four Boys Radio Show. Don't miss that. Also at 10 o'clock Pacific time tonight. But I know you picked San Francisco because you're a beloved Bear fan and you couldn't go for Green Bay Packers. Did you think San Francisco honestly had a chance?
Any given Sunday, right? I mean, yeah, I picked the main reason I picked them is because I can't pick the Packers. Can't do it. But I did think the Niners had a bit of a chance because their defense is really good, and a lot of people don't realize how good that defense is. And they really shut down the Packers.
Oh, okay. Sticking with San Francisco, let's talk about a little bit about Jimmy G. I call him GQ Jimmy G because that's probably the only significant thing he has done in his career. So Jimmy G, can he honestly lead the 49ers to the Super Bowl?
He's done it once before, right? I mean, kind of. They leaned on that defense in the running game to get him there the last time they went. As long as he takes care of the ball and he doesn't make mistakes like he's prone to do, and he gets that Rams defense, it's going to be awfully tough. Look what they did to Brady. They got to him time and time again. So I don't think they get past the Rams.
Oh, okay. But my thing is I don't think he has a touchdown reception or thrown a touchdown at all in the playoffs as of this year. Do you think? Yeah, he hasn't, and he hasn't thrown over 250 either. So, do you think having those type of records are going to actually lead to the Super Bowl?
No, I mean it's kind of like the Trent Dilfer and the Brad Johnson of the world, where they were game managers. They leaned on the defense. They didn't make that costly turnover. They relied on the running game. They got excellent field position because their defense were able to take care of the ball and create that field position. So it's kind of what Jimmy G is doing right now. He's relying on Deebo Samuel in the running game and the defense.
Alrighty. So I honestly don't think that the 49ers can make it to the Super Bowl. I know that they had their numbers, had the Rams number this season or like the past 3 years or something like that. The Rams haven't beaten them. But
6-0 in their last 6 games.
Yeah, I think that is going to be I think that's going to end this coming weekend on Saturday. I think the Rams, what they did to the Buccaneers is what's going to happen to the 49ers. And I believe the Buccaneers has a better defense than the 49ers. That's how I feel. And we have Christy Wilson commenting and saying, hi, guys. And we're going to say, hey. So with that, who do you have coming into this game, the Rams or the 49ers?
I got the Rams. I think that defense is just going to be too much for the Niners offense. And then the Rams offense is going to be too explosive for that Niner defense. There's no way they can cover both Kupp and Beckham. If the Bucs can do it, the Niners definitely aren't going to be able to do it.
That is true. That is definitely true. And so what was your biggest surprise in the playoffs? Like, which team has surprised you the most?
I would have to say, I'd have to say it'd be the Niners getting as far as they have. Nobody expected them to get this far. And most people didn't even have them making the playoffs before the season started. So, I mean, you can say the same thing about the Bengals, too. Nobody thought they were going to be where they're going to be. So, it's one of the two. You can't go wrong with either one. Did you freeze, Sarge? I think Sarge is having some technical issues here. So yeah, I think it's just the Bengals or Niners. The Bengals, Joe Burrow. Oh, you're back. Okay. I was trying to keep the show rolling without you there.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Like you're here in the sports compound, and I had some connectivity issues that happened, and so you were saying the 49ers are your team that most surprised you. The one that's actually surprised me were the Titans because I don't think I would have picked them to win the number one spot on the AFC side. What are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, I can see where you're coming from because once Derrick Henry went down, everybody thought the Titans' chances just went and then they just kept winning and finding ways to win games that nobody thought they were going to win without Derrick Henry. And then Derrick Henry comes back, and I don't think they played the way they usually do. I don't think they ran the ball enough with Derrick Henry and Foreman in that game.
Oh, well, they ran the ball 27 times. Derrick Henry had 20 carries, but he only averaged 3.1 carry. I think that if he waited for one more day, or one more week, I think Titans could have beaten the Bengals. That's how I feel. But I'm riding on the Bengals bandwagon team.
Well, I mean, not with Henry. I mean, I thought they should give Foreman some more carries because he broke that one long run, and then they should have not give Henry as many carries. They should have split it because he was just coming back.
All righty. So with that being said, we had a slobber knocker, I guess, with the Buffalo and Kansas City, with Kansas City winning 42-36 in overtime. So this is, I think we both agree this was our favorite game. Like, I know there's a picture out there saying that, like, I could watch this game, like, 7 times in the 7 best of series. I would accept that. I'd accept this as a Super Bowl. That's how I felt. But I kind of felt cheated in the playoffs or in the overtime rules with that because I believe that one team should have at least one possession, kind of like the college thing going to the sudden death. What's your thoughts on that process?
My thoughts is I said it in the group chats last night and even on the show we had last night. The defense, they should never been in that position to begin with. They let Kansas City get in field goal range with 13 seconds left. You go to prevent defense, all it does is prevent you from winning the game. If they would have played the regular defense, they played the whole game, Kansas City probably wouldn't have gotten field goal range. So
Okay.
I blame this on Leslie Frazier and the defensive coordinator for going to the prevent.
All right. Yeah, I can see that. Plus, I don't think they would have been in that position if they would have tackled Tyreek Hill, before Tyreek Hill's touchdown. I don't think Buffalo would have been in that position. And I think I think that was a turning point pretty much on that game. But I mean, Mahomes coming in 13 seconds and making sure getting that field goal in. I think that was unbelievable. Did you hear the message that that his coach said to Mahomes about being the Grim Reaper?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I'm gonna paraphrase it a little bit because Andy Reid said to Mahomes, even in grim situations, you become the Grim Reaper, and that's what Mahomes did. He became the Grim Reaper to the Buffalo Bills, to the Bills Mafia, and everywhere else. So that's how I felt with that. Do you like that analogy?
I loved it. I thought that was perfect. I mean, like, what a better message to send to your quarterback than that? I mean, go out and kill him. End it.
All right. There's another thing that there was a poll out there in our group chats as well, talking about Mahomes winning Super Bowls. And what's your thoughts on that? Did that poll came in too early? Because I think he should win another Super Bowl before we have that poll. What's you know which one I'm talking about, right?
The one where if he had how many Super Bowls he has to overtake Brady or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, I don't think he will overtake Brady, but I think let's wait till the Super Bowl.
You got to wait. I agree. I mean, he's only got one. He's been to two. Brady's got 7, so you can't until he gets 6. Then we can talk about it.
All right. I don't have to say he has to get 6. I don't know. Super Bowl is a Super Bowl. If you have a ring, you don't have a ring. That's where I'm at on that one. I don't think it defines who you are because it's a team sport. That's why I'm frustrated with Brady, because it's a team sport. It's not individual. Yes, he has 7 rings, but what's your thoughts on that right there?
Well, I agree with that in a sense because he didn't win all the Super Bowls by himself. It was a team effort. The defense bailed him out in that Falcons Super Bowl. They set him up to make that comeback with the turnovers and whatnot. And then the guy that catches the ball on his freaking helmet against the Giants, I mean, he just had crazy plays that helped him. It's not like he did it all on his own. He's not like Michael Jordan. He did it on his own, So
that is true because Michael Jordan also gets a lot of comparisons to LeBron James. And guess what? Michael Jordan doesn't have a loss in the finals.
That's right.
Do you know why? Do you know why Michael Jordan, every time LeBron calls Michael, Jordan always leaves the phone ring 6 times? You know what? So it happens to be like, so LeBron calls Jordan, it rings 6 times, and LeBron's like, hey, Jordan, why do you let me ring 6 times? And Jordan's like, just to remind you how many rings I have.
I love it.
I love it too. And Katie Hab Gleason's chiming on there saying there is no I in team. That is definitely true. I totally agree with that one. So I want to go back to the Kansas City and Buffalo game. Tyreek Hill in that last touchdown, he gave the peace sign on that. Is that considered taunting right there? Because I think they need to revisit that rule because, in my opinion, that's taunting right there.
It should have been, and even the announcers were like surprised that it wasn't called. I mean, they've been calling it all year, and they don't call it in that moment. You got to stay consistent with what you've been calling. So, I thought for sure once he threw it up, I was looking for a flag, and there was none.
I know. I loved it. Yeah, last year, like during the Super Bowl, I think it was Winfield Jr. did it to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
which was great. I enjoyed that. That made me satisfied. That made me happy and warm inside.
Right, because he did it to Winfield when he scored in the regular season against him. So karma kind of, yeah.
That is true. So who are you going to take next week in the AFC? Bengals or Kansas City Chiefs?
I think, yeah, I'm going to take Kansas City and win it because I think they're out to prove that, they want to get revenge for that loss they had a few weeks back against the Bengals when they let Cincinnati come back and eventually win. And I think Mahomes is hungry to get that second win, that second Super Bowl.
Hungry indeed. I agree with that one. But like I said earlier, I'm just going to go. Sorry, Katie. It's not Chiefs all the way. It's going to be Joe freaking Burrow all the way.
Dirt.
That's what I'm saying.
Joe Dirt.
I mean, I think he's more classy than Brady. Like I like how he. Did you see that?
We got peace signs.
We got peace signs. I see. Throw that flag. But hey, at the compound, we encourage taunting. That's what I like about being here because I encourage it and everything else. So, peace right back at you. But anyways, so you think so? You're going for a Rams and Chiefs Super Bowl?
I'm going for Rams Chiefs because remember a couple years back when they played on Monday Night Football, that game was amazing. I think it'd be a great Super Bowl too.
I think it could be like that Buffalo Bills and Chiefs game. I mean, like you have Matthew Stafford there. Now you have OBJ there. You have Cam Akers, who's healthy now. I think you're right. I think that could be probably one of the best shootout Super Bowls that we could ever see. And I think out of all these playoffs so far, this has been the best playoff football I have seen that I can remember, except for the Buffalo and Patriots game. Even though Patriots got destroyed, but I think it's been one of the best playoffs in recent times. What's your thoughts on that? Because we talked about the divisions, but playoffs in general.
Well, if you take out the Eagle game and the Patriot game against the Bills, yeah, it's been a good playoffs, probably one of the better ones in recent years. So I would agree with that.
All right. So let's go take a little swing for the fences. We're going to go with a little bit of MLB action here. So the owners and the players associations met today. There is no updates as of right now. They are continuing to talk. But one of the biggest surprises in baseball that I've seen so far is in AAA using robot umpires. What is your thoughts on robot umpires?
I don't like it because you're taking the human element out of the game. I've always said it, and I'll stick with it. I mean, I just don't agree with it. You can take away jobs from the umps, and these guys deserve to lose their jobs to robots. Come on, just to get a call right, it's human error. It's gonna happen. You got to live with it. It's been that way forever. There's no place in baseball for robot umpires.
Yeah, because I remember what it was Jim Joyce. He missed the first base call on an out for a perfect game for the Tigers. And like also you got Angel Hernandez, who is a horrible umpire, by the way.
Yeah.
And I don't think what people actually know that umpires are actually graded. Same with the NFL refs. So I believe I'm with you. I think you need to keep the human faction of the game and the robot umps. They just need to go because I love it when the managers come out of the dugout and argue and get tossed, like Lou Piniella style. I want to see more Lou Piniella style arguments or Bobby Cox.
Right, and then what you're gonna get these lame strike three goes like the umpire strike three and then get robot strike three. You're out.
I know. What happens if the robot like malfunctions or something and starts, I don't know, shooting balls at the pitcher? Who's gonna get the pitch? I mean, what's gonna happen? I don't exactly know how it's gonna work. Do you?
I don't like. Where are they gonna hold the balls if they replace the dirty ones with?
It's gonna be like a pitching machine with that arm that throws.
and I can
like
see
you're in
that.
the batting cages or something like that in the pitches.
What's that going to do for replay? Are they going to argue with the robot's call?
This does not compute. I don't understand. I mean, I can see like the baseball players taking like a bat to the umpires, like to the robot umpires because of the calls and everything else. I mean, it has to be pretty precise if you're gonna like get right on the edge of the plate. And I know we have crazy technology, but like I said, that human error just brings more. I don't know. It seems natural.
It does. Why mess with it? You got replay for that. If you get a bad call, go to replay. You don't need robot calling the game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So keeping in on the MLB, let's talk about a little bit of the Hall of Fame because the biggest controversy is Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. I think they're going to get in from everything I'm seeing as of late. What's your thoughts?
If you're going to put those type of guys in there, known cheaters, have used PEDs, then before you do all that, you've got to put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. That's got to happen before those guys get in. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree with the Pete Rose thing on it. But the thing I have, though, Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds were never been proven. It's never been proven. It's always been they've alleged to do it. And we got A-Rod and Manny who are on the ballot, but they've been caught, especially A-Rod. So me, I have to be okay with it. I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it too, because it's not like, yeah, they did the PEDs, but did it really help their eye coordination? Did it really help them hit the ball that much further?
Well,
you still got to have that. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, Barry Bonds, I mean, he pretty much has his own orbit around his head from when he started as a rookie. He was like a toothpick. Now he has like a moon going around his head. That's how I see it.
Oh, yeah, if you go back and look from when he was with the Pirates coming up to when he got to the Giants, it's night and day.
Night and day.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. So there's a new show coming to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Mess around and you're part of it. It seems pretty cool to watch about it. Can you give us a little details on the show and when is it?
Well, Ace and I have decided we are going to call it Coast to Coast Red Tape Files. And it's going to be on tonight at 8 o'clock. I won't give you any more than the name. You guys can tune in, catch it out. Catch it, check it out. It's going to be interesting. A lot of people have already expressed a lot of interest in it, so look out for that.
Are you guys going to be wearing like sunglasses and detective hats or anything like that?
Come in Men in Black style.
There you go. Like you have that little zapper.
Right? Make you forget what we just said.
I mean, I wish I had that zapper that I'll zap Katie Gleason there, gave me the peace signs. That's what would happen. Peace. See, Christy, she's taunting also with the wave, like, bye. Like, she's like, hi, bye. That's how she's,
right.
How that was like right there. That's never stopped.
She's in and out. She's like the In-N-Out burger.
It's those Cowboy fans. I mean, they're in it for so long, then they're gone.
Right.
Just like that.
At least they made it. Our teams did not, so.
Oh! Yes.
Champion.
On there. I didn't realize she was still there, but she comes back and taunting even more. So I don't know who Timothy Temtem is, but
maybe we should get him on Coast to Coast.
I think that's gonna come back and bite me in the butt on this network.
Probably everybody's gonna start calling you that now.
I know. So it's that time. Mess around. Thank you for coming by. Check us out at 10 o'clock Pacific time p.m. tonight for the Four Bro Show. I don't know what's gonna happen tonight. Something usually does happen. Mess around does something also. I say something also. If you want a good time with the bros, come on and hang out with Four Bros. For Mess Around Dave, I am the Sarge. Thank you for joining me on the Sports Compound Mess Around. This is Sarge. Sarge out.